Hey everybody, welcome back from spring break. Even if you haven't had your spring break like me and you're still waiting for that to happen, we did take our spring break at GOA this past week. So we are back and ready to go in full swing. As a fun thing for us to start back on, we're going to start with a editable welcome back from spring break homepage. And so what that means is that I want you to share your experiences. If you've been traveling in the last couple of weeks, even if it isn't related to spring break, but you have some cool pictures you'd like to share, or even just pictures of where you are so that we all can connect a little bit better, then you're going to be able to place them, or I would like you to put them right here on the home page. So the home page has changed. In what you will see up in the corner, what you never saw before was the term edit. And if you click on edit, then you can actually go in here and edit your spring break page. I have put my picture of something that I have been doing in the last few weeks, which is dealing with my youngest who just turned 8 years old, and so we've been having a good time and goofing off, and she was taken shopping for her birthday, and so there she is acting all sassy as she's trying on stuff from the store. So you can add your own photos. If you just click underneath where I wrote, feel free to put something in there about her if you'd like. Her name, we call her Jazzy. But you click enter and then you're able to add your own image. Up here on the side you should see images, and you click on that and then you're able to add images that you may have. You don't have to have a Flickr account. I think it'll ask you if you want to upload. Mine's not doing that because I have limited access through the student view. But basically you can add photos. Tell me about your photos. Tell us all what you've done, and be kind of a nice way for us to reconnect back from our week away from each other, even though I know a lot of you have been diligently working, and I appreciate that. After that, we're going to talk just a little bit about our modules and what's coming up. So looking at Module 4, which we're finishing up, and remember everything is due by March 31st. Nothing will be counted late, just get it to me by March 31st, and that will take care of everything that is done for stem cell research, predictive genetic testing, and so on. There was a question that came up, and I want to quickly address it. In the predictive genetic testing in the workplace, you do actually have groups, and I'm sorry, they were posted over here in the group section and where you go into people, and so I forgot to mention that there. So I've put them here just in case you weren't sure, and I know that some of you may have already posted, and that's fine. So if your group mates can just kind of play around and talk to each other, or we can just open it up as a full form. It doesn't make a huge difference, but your group needs to get together to research one of these topics from the list. So make sure that you make some contact, and I give you direct instructions as to who's responsible for what component. So make sure that you get a chance to do that. If you have questions on that assignment, please let me know, and I apologize. I thought I had the groups listed there, but they are listed in people if ever you're looking. If you come on down, Unit 5 has now opened up for you, and Unit 5 is talking about organ donation. So if we look at our journey that we've taken, we talked about the right to die. So individuals who have a decision to make if they are extremely ill or something like that, and having that right to make those decisions for themselves. So really, this one, Unit 1, really talked a lot about that autonomy component. Unit 2 talks about competency and mental illness. If you remember, we talked about being able to make a decision if you are diagnosed mentally ill, or if you are a minor, or if you are an aging person. And so competency and mental illness also has a little bit to do with autonomy, but starts really moving into beneficence and a little bit about that non-maleficence. And then research, human subjects, and animal subject research. So this is how we go about doing research and learning all the things that we need to know about how to protect and heal and take care of and all these wonderful things, and who has rights in those cases. And again, this one really focuses, this one's a lot stronger in the justice division of the principles of bioethics, but does take into account, of course, the other ones, but justice really serves itself well in Unit 3. Unit 4, what we're talking about now, is combination of things. Who owns our information, our actual genetic information? Where do those stem cells go? Can we make decisions on that? Predictive genetic testing is what you're talking about now, is making the decision to test yourself early to find out if you have predisposition for certain kinds of cancers, and should we have that ability, because that can lead to obviously problems in the workplace because they won't want to insure you. Eugenics is an interesting topic. If you haven't hit that one yet, you'll see in the past when America was being settled, there was a lot of argument that we don't let people in that don't look or have the genes or traits that we necessarily want. So eugenics is kind of a product of that problem. Designer Babies is my absolute favorite. I hope you enjoy looking at that, but we actually can have catalogs of traits that we want our children to have and going through the genetic databases to see if we can make that outcome, and it is possible, some of these things. So hopefully you'll find some good stuff there in Designer Babies. And then in gene therapy, and so how do we use genes to ultimately help and heal? So that is kind of a mixture of all four of the principles of bioethics. And now we're moving into organ donation. And of course, in organ donation, we're talking a lot about similar things to our right to die cases. So I have a bad liver and I want a transplant, and I go and I get put on a waiting list. And how does the doctor decide who gets put into top priority of that transplant? So you know, think about that. There's a lot of people that need a transplant, but who gets placed on the head of the list versus those that get placed on the bottom of the list, and how does that whole thing work? And what does it mean to have a free market of organs available for the public and things like that? So this is kind of an interesting topic because you really talk about having to make a lot of decisions here on the part of others that maybe we don't know who has that right to make those decisions. So it's things like that that we're going to talk about in the organ donation section. Everything is actually up. I put it up for you early so that you all can start working on it. Those of you that are ahead, those of you that need the extra time because you may be going on spring break in the next week or two, I wanted it there for you. When you go into the Unit 5, here's your Gantt chart and your syllabus for the unit, and you'll see there's actually 2 plunge-ins this time. So you're going to have one that talks about organ donations and one set of actual cases where you're going to make some decisions on. And then everything else kind of follows the same methodology. You'll see that all of these, the data analysis, the position, the thoughts, and the knowledge check are all due on the same day. And that's basically just to give you time to work through them. So don't, it's not like turn them all in on April 6th, but just kind of work on them and turn them in up until April 6th. So that should give you some time to sort of play around with those. And then the summarized viewpoints and collaboration kind of go together. And so I want you to have your viewpoints read by April the 8th, though I set the due date for April the 12th so that it kind of matches, because the collaboration part is you're taking those viewpoints that you read and you're debating with your classmates on it, and that debate will be read and finished by April 12th. So I just want you to kind of see that this should be about the time when you're ready and you should know everything about your topic, and then over here is where you're, by the time that you're done, you've finished talking about it. So that's the rundown on Unit 4. After Unit 4 we have, Unit 5, my bad. After Unit 5 we have Unit 6, which is on vaccinations, and that's kind of a short unit, and then we're going to round it out with our final project. So I want you to be thinking about what topic you want to talk about in your final project, something that you have enjoyed, so a topic from the class or something that as you've been doing the class you found an interest in and you want to explore it further. So think about those things, and we're going to be doing a exit survey where you're going to tell me what those topics are coming up soon. So let me know if you have any questions. This is a longer video and I apologize for that, but I had a lot to say since we haven't seen each other in a while. Let me know if there's something I can do to help, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.